I don't know where my earbuds are. Maybe in on the.
See how he is, CJ? So unprepared.
He's usually here 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
uh,
Is it
what's happening, folks out there? How is everybody doing this evening?
howdy? Is it a
Triple
bad?
B, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing, man? Hey, Mario, I know the feeling, man, and I hate it for you. Been there and done that. uh, we'll give the folks the usual few minutes to find their seats. All you fine folks who arrived early. Double D, what's going on? My man Ryan is here. Bill, Chicken Fried is hanging around. El Barrio's in the house. Triple B is in the house. Double D, what's going on, buddy? Bat, what's happening, Bat? How are you guys doing today, man? Thank all of you for stopping in. Hanging out a little bit with Mama Papa Joe's and my man Zilla. What you get into all week, man?
What's that?
So what you get into all week?
I don't know. I wasn't feeling all that well last week, but got better on Friday. I helped my son Andrew get prepped for the rodeo. He cooked out there at the rodeo barbecue. So he came. Yeah, he got in with somebody. He found somebody a liquor sponsor. Because he's a wholesale guy for Skip's Liquor and LOL. And yeah, the guy who he got the sponsor for offered him a spot. So at the last minute, he called me up and says, "Hey, can you help me get some stuff together?" So I put some rub together and some sauce and helped him prep his meat and sent him on his way. So he didn't
I
or
thought
anything.
I thought you were gonna say you went out there and helped him.
Oh no. I had a couple of sons over for the weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
Lauren's retirement party was Saturday. So that
Oh
was
yeah.
all Friday and Saturday, man. It was just, I don't know, we had 40, 50, 60 people here on Saturday and busy day, man. Busy day.
Oh, I bet, man. Yeah, I bet. Wow, we've got some new folks in the house. Dr. Matt King, much appreciated, sir. Thank you for stopping in. Uh, Dr. King, where are you out of? Been a little bit. Daniel Carroll, what's happening? Thank you for stopping in. Al, what's going on, buddy? Al just finished watching one of your videos, man. That I can't even remember what you call it, fajita or something, because I'd never heard of it before. Needless to say, I'd smash because it looked really good. Josh is in the house. What's happening, Josh? How you doing, buddy? We'll give them another 30 seconds, folks. Today's topic, I think, is a good one. Really, really caught me. I got to thinking about San Antonio Rodeo. And the week before San Antonio Rodeo, I was invited to go help some high schoolers. I kind of run through a little practice for San Antonio. And man, I forgot how much joy instructing, especially barbecue, man, brings to me.
Yeah.
And it made for a long day, man, but it was so satisfying, so fruitful. Watching those kids and when that light gets turned on in their heads is it really makes you feel good. All right, folks, welcome back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. Man, we appreciate you guys stopping in, hanging out, Mom and I, and my man Darwin. Uh, I think everyone saw the promo. I want to talk about how you got to where you currently are, when it comes to the kitchen, when it comes to that backyard barbecue. Did you grow up under someone, watching someone, and you picked up these skills along the way? Or did you just all of a sudden become interested in barbecue and cooking and started trial and error to get to where you are? Regardless of which way you got here, man, it's so important, that we pass that on when we can. Uh, and I'm not necessarily talking about the field of competition barbecue, but there it is as important. But man, it's awesome when kids can handle business for themselves at some point. Hey, you might be an old man one day and can't fire up the grill, and your son or daughter can do that for you, man. So, Darwin, what's going on, buddy?
Man, I don't know how many people are our age, but my mom and dad, they cooked together all the time. So it was a little different in my house. My dad was a Norwegian immigrant. He came over United States in 1925, probably eating fish every day of the week. And my mom was from North Texas, grew up on a farm up there. So they met during World War II. So I grew up with this really interesting combination of, Southern food and, Northern European, Scandinavian stuff, But they both were into cooking. And another thing that affected me was a TV show back in the day when I was a little kid called The Galloping Gourmet. His name was Graham Kerr, guy from England, right? I think that's probably what started my interest in cooking, is watching that maniac drink wine and cook. And over the years, when in the 80s, when we had stuff like the original Mario Batali, cooking in his restaurant kitchen, you could hear the vent hood going. It wasn't a studio. I don't know if any of you remember that, back when he was actually cooking in his restaurant kitchen. And also the Frugal Gourmet was another dude who really turned me on to cooking. And then over the years, just trying, because I love to eat. Anyone who's ever made, I'm a big dude and I love to eat, man. I love all kinds of food. And I've been collecting cookbooks probably since 1984. At one point, I think I had almost 200 cookbooks. I have a big collection of cooking magazines, and not just there for show, man. I have cooked out of every one of those books. And, the barbecue thing, that was kind of a spurred on when I finally moved to San Antonio out of New York.
And that was gonna be one of my questions. New York is not anywhere close to being a mecca of barbecue.
No.
And my question was definitely going to be, how in the heck did you ever develop a love for cooking barbecue? Coming from that Northeast.
Well, my grandparents lived here in San Antonio, over in the Kirby area, and we would come down every other year and visit, and they always took us out to barbecue restaurants or Luby's, one of the two, And when I finally moved down here in 86, I was well aware of what barbecue was, and I loved it, from visiting my grandparents. And then I watched my grandfather struggle cooking barbecue. And I always tell this funny story about every 2 years he would call me up, or my brother, and he'd say, "Hey, carry me over to Albertsons. I'm going to buy me a barbecue pit, one of those drums that they sold for $99 on that iron stand." And then we'd go to Home Depot or Build a Square is what it was back in the day. And we'd pick up a sack of Sackcrete concrete, and he'd line the bottom of that firebox area with the concrete and buy a brisket and he got mesquite wood from his neighbor who was getting it out on his deer lease. And there he would go cooking a brisket, and he'd cook it for like 3 hours and bring it in. He'd try and cut it, and of course it was like cutting through. So at some point, it's like something's wrong here, So that's what got my interest peaked in, because he didn't have the patience at his old age. He was probably in his early 80s when we got here in 1986, and I was 25,
Yeah.
I right away started looking into it. And when I started teaching high school at Judson High School, I walked into the weld shop my first year there, and the weld shop teacher had a fundraiser going on, and he had his juniors and seniors had made like 35 really nice barbecue pits. And I said, "Man, what's all this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's a fundraiser." I was like, "How much are these barbecue pits?" And he said, $135. And it just so happens I had like $180 in my pocket, in my wallet, So I pulled out the cash and I gave him the cash, and he had one of his students drop it at my house in their pickup, This is 1994. And that was it. That's when I started my journey. When I finally had a barbecue pit in 94, I started trying to figure this stuff out, So, yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's the beginning.
Great story, man.
But I have Texas roots in my family. It just took me a little while to get down here.
Yeah. Daddy Dutch says he's self-taught back in the days.
Yeah.
And of course, YT YouTube University. Man, we all know the impact of social media. You find a piece of meat and want something to do with it, all you gotta do is check social media, man. Somebody has done it and put it out there. So that has been really, really helpful for a lot of folks. As for me, I think growing up in Belize, man, I've always had a love for outdoor cooking, open fires. I remember as a kid, that's how most of the cooking was done. No AC. It's way too warm to be cooking inside. So 95% of the cooking back then when I was growing up was done outside. Man, we would go scrounging on the beaches. We'd go fishing in the mangrove lagoons, you name it. And all it took for us to do, man, was to get some sort of protein in our hands, and we would be gathering wood out there in the middle of no place, and we're roasting fish. We're grabbing cans that we find, washing them out, and we're boiling fish. I mean, you name it. As a kid, man, we cooked it any which way we could, and loved it. So I've always had that love for outdoor cooking. I come from a family, man, of great women cooks. I don't remember many males in my family growing up that did any type of cooking.
Yeah.
It was always the women. My pops couldn't find a spoon in the kitchen if my mom didn't get it for him. So I wish I could tell you that I picked things up from my dad, but I absolutely did not. My mom was an awesome cook. And coming to the States, with that love for outdoor cooking, I didn't get much opportunity to use it. But I remember discovering Justin Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
And the storyteller that he is, man, the food and the joy that he brought to everybody in his television cooking series, that is really when I got interested in cooking in the kitchen. And all that time I've been watching the women, so I had kind of a base knowledge. But Justin just really, really made me want to level things up, and that was the start. His cookbook was the first cookbook that I ever spent money on.
Okay.
So for me, that is the source of my love for cooking in the kitchen, man.
I loved watching his show. He was so funny. What a funny guy, you know.
The stories that he would tell, man.
Yeah.
The stories. He was such a storyteller that it was. He would have you spellbound.
That was good stuff back in the day. I really enjoyed Justin Wilson, and yeah, there were some other guys. The other Cajun cook. Oh man, what's the guy's name? He had Paul's Paul Prudhomme.
Prudhomme. Oh, Paul Prudhomme. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Paul Prudhomme. And that's that cookbook right there was the start of my interest in Cajun cooking. And my wife's family is all from South Louisiana. So when I started making stuff, I had her mom and dad come over and ask them. I said, "Hey, I'm trying to make this. I've never tasted it before. What do you think about it?" You know? And they were amazed right away. They said, "Where did you learn to cook like this?" And I said, "Well, it's this cookbook from this guy, Paul Prudhomme." And they said, "Prudhomme, they owned a grocery store back in the town we grew up in. We used to shop there." You know, so I knew that that was the real deal. But if I'm telling you what, if you get Paul Prudhomme's Louisiana Kitchen Cookbook, those recipes are legit, because that's how I learned how to cook Cajun food.
Okay.
Food, and it's great, man, and it passed the test on all the Cajuns I tried it out on. So,
and they will let you know if you're not doing it right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sherry, thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Miss Janelle McCullum, thank you. Thanks for helping the kids last week, she said. And folks, you know, like I mentioned earlier, when I got the invite to cook, it was supposed to happen a couple of 3 weeks before San Antonio Rodeo, but we had that cold spell and we had to reschedule the date. And man, it was the weekend before the San Antonio event. And some of these kids, some of these high school kids, young men and women, this was going to be their first time competing. I think there were 2 of them that had previous competition experience. But going down to that ag barn, man, they're all from Madison High School. Going down to that ag barn on that Saturday before the San Antonio Rodeo, I met these young men and women, man, and for the most part, they were all motivated. They paid attention. Excuse me. They paid attention. They asked great questions, and it really just reminded me of how much joy, how much I enjoy teaching in general, but especially barbecue. Especially barbecue. You know, teaching barbecue, man, you get instant feedback, whether it be good or bad from those taste judges. So it's something that I really, really love. And watching those kids when they finally got to understand something, that light would pop on, watching the smiles on their faces, watching them enjoy their products at the end of the day, really, really made me feel good. And then when I got notified of how they performed in San Antonio Rodeo, man, I was out of this world happy. You know, really, really proud of the way they perform. And then I'm not saying it's because of that one day that I spent with them, because man, they're the ones that have to go out there and put things together.
Yeah.
But really proud of them. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're currently working on it, trying to get these students on the show to really, really talk about their experiences at San Antonio, especially for the first time competitors. You know, what was their prep like? You know, how much help did they get? What do they feel about having to wake up mid morning, dark 30?
Yeah.
You know, to light the fire. So it should be interested. We'll definitely let you guys know when they're going to be on the show.
Hey, what were the age groups on that deal? Because I know our little buddy Tate was reserve grand champion, and he's been practicing for a couple of years, under the tutorship of his dad, Scott, Scotty, and but I didn't know what the age range was, if they were different categories.
Well, maybe Janelle can answer for us. What kind of age groups do they have? I know they're obviously in high school. I think if you're a freshman, I think you're eligible. If you're a senior, you're eligible everywhere in between. So as far as I know, that is probably the age group.
Okay, I wondered if they went down to middle school.
Middle school. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Maybe one of the ladies who have some knowledge can help us out. All right, let's see. Triple B says family always gets together every weekend. So he saw his dad and grandfather and uncles on the smokers, and he began to get interested as a kid. Oh, yeah, that's definitely a way to go. I think if my pops had ever found a grill and fired it up, I would have been in love right from the start instead of so much later into adulthood.
Yeah. So did they ever put you to work when you were watching your dad and your granddad and your uncles cooking? Did they ever put you to work doing this and that and getting you lined out, ready to cook on your own when you got older?
That's for you, Triple B. Did you have jobs? Did you play a role in those family barbecues? Al says he's drunk taught. He messed up meat way too many times, but he ate it anyway. before he start before he started caring. I don't think there's anybody out there, man, unless you've really got somebody looking over your shoulder. I don't think there are too many of us that did not burn or destroy a lot of proteins, man, before we understood exactly how to go about getting that quality end product. So it's sort of a rite of passage. You've got to destroy 7 briskets before you get the first one right.
Triple B says, absolutely. I was in charge of getting beer and keeping ice in the glasses. That sounds about right.
Danny Carroll, man, it's been a long time, buddy. How are you doing, man? Self-taught until we took CJ's classes. Man, it's definite little things. They can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
They can make a huge difference. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Darnell is in the house. What's happening, D? How are you doing, buddy? Been a little bit, man. Been a little bit. Good to see you. I don't want to fall too far behind. Darnell, man, I hope things get better for you, baby. It's a new year. Let's be a new you. Danny says high school UIL rules. Yeah, I guess if I ever become more integrated with the high schoolers, I'll have to get a hold of those rules because I know absolutely nothing about them.
Well, we had that in common, CJ, as we were both teachers in the same district. But you were middle school, I was high school teacher.
Yes,
so, yeah, I was familiar with the UIL rules and, no pass, no play, didn't matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. I'm here to tell you, man, I think as adults, how many of you out there would have really, really enjoyed and gotten into barbecue competitions if you as a high schooler had the opportunity to participate in some sort of ag program relating to competition barbecue? Man, think about how many different ways, while in middle school or while in high school, how many different ways did you look to get off of that campus to go do something different? And now just imagine that that's something different that you were going to do once a month or twice a month was barbecue competitions. You know, you're traveling across the state to go do that. How much more fun would that have made high school for you, man? So I can only look back and imagine how much love I would have had for something like that.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Oh
I
yeah.
was looking for any excuse to get off campus, including excuses that were not sanctioned by anybody at all.
Yeah. Dr. Matt King says that's so awesome. I can't imagine having the patience to cook a brisket as a team. Great job, both teacher and students. And it does take a little bit of patience, man. And you know, as a young adult, a high schooler, sometimes that attention span isn't quite there. And I could see that. It was natural. I could see that. Sometimes the weekend I was there with them. But man, you know, you grab a hold of them and you get them back to focusing, back to keeping their notes on track, their timings on track. And man, like I said, very proud of the way they performed. Yeah. Tom is in the house. What's happening, Mr. Garvey? Thank you for stopping in this evening. Janelle says all high school kiddos. All right, so that's the age group, Darwin. Uh, Although we have a middle school kid on one of the teams. Tate was reserved, and we were third and fifth overall. So awesome for these kids. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Triple B says he was in charge of getting beers and keeping the ice in the cooler. He said, you did not get to touch a protein.
Till it was,
yeah. Middle schoolers didn't get to compete at San Antonio due to the rules. Okay. Al says, growing up, he thought the taste of lighter fluid was barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I will tell you, man, lighter fluid, that was something that I gave up long before competition barbecue. That I can honestly say. I had a buddy, God rest his soul, Peter Kelly. And Peter Kelly loved the barbecue, man, always inviting us over to his house. And Pete was one of those, I could not stress enough, Pete, let that fluid, that lighter fluid burn out before you throw meat on. And I don't know if he was just impatient or he had developed a taste for lighter fluid, but it was always in that end product, man. It was always in that end product. And this was back when we were both in the military. So it's been many a years since I bought or used lighter fluid. And I can pick it out in a heartbeat in a piece of protein. I can definitely pick it out.
Sometimes I wonder if it's simply what they're used to, what their dad cooked or the granddad cooked, and they didn't know any better, right? So if that's the way their dad did it and they learned that way, that's what they're used to, and you see that in a lot of barbecue when, how often have you seen someone run their pit that looked like a doggone freight train coming down the rails, with all that white and gray smoke pumping out of the stack? And that's their dad, that's the way they're going to do it. That's what they're used to. That's what they think is correct. And man, it's hard to change those habits.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah. Even when we were competing, there were times when I heard from taste judges that did not taste like my daddy's barbecue.
Yeah.
From the taste judges. So if you're accustomed to it, then you kind of expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely do.
I don't know. I worked in the judging areas, volunteered a little bit more than a lot of other cooks did. I was a head judge and, I helped out when I could. And, looking at Don and Jan Canterbury over the years, as I started cooking in the Houston area. And, when I first saw their chicken turn-ins, I was really surprised to see that sections of black blistered skin, which I happen to love.
Yeah, yeah.
But compared to some of the other really beautiful chickens that were being turned in, they didn't look as pretty. But I watched those two walk countless times on chicken and just kill everybody, because you know what? That's the way their daddy cooked it. That's what they loved. And us too. I love that bit of burnt skin, and man, I just love that. So there is something to that.
Yes, sir. Le Chateau says, I was born into an excellent cooking family. I was the one who was in charge of the meat and making a seasoned water spritzer for the barbecue meats.
Wow.
There you go. There you go. So it's in you. Yeah, that is in you. Danny says he's doing good working with San Antonio's Thomas Jefferson High School barbecue team.
Okay.
That's all right, man. I will definitely be looking at trying to get more involved. I was supposed to have had an opportunity a few years ago, and things didn't pan out for whatever reason. But I'm always interested in something along those lines, man. And I'm not talking about a paying gig or anything. I'm just saying I've got the time, and I wouldn't mind donating some of that time to help these kids out.
Yeah.
Chicken fried, what's going on, buddy? No pass, no barbecue. Oh yeah, I think we all would. Triple B, barbecue comps as a high school kid, man. That's like a day off. Yeah, that's like a day off. For real, Bill. Les Chateau said, I was more into fashion in high school. I'll tell you what, I'm the least fashionable person in this world, man. I could care less. Yeah, I could care less. My man Buzz is in the house. What's going on, Jay? Buzz says, when I was 11 or 12, we moved from the projects on the DC line out to the burbs of Prince George's County, Maryland. And his dad and buddy built a cinder block pit in our backyard.
Yeah, that's the Northeast way, man. The cinder block. Yeah.
Dude, just imagine as a kid, man, 10, 11, 12, you get to watch these adults, these men, sit around a cinder block pit, smoking their cigarettes, their cigars, drinking. Can you imagine some of the stories that you're going to listen to? I don't know that they'd be all good for you, but
probably the same kind of stories we heard on the fishing boat.
Yeah.
The lies and
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Darnell, man, I absolutely hope things get better. Yeah, I've seen some of your posts, man. And I don't want to speculate or anything, so I'll give you your space, but nothing but the best for you, man. Bo is in the house. What's happening, Bo? So Bo is another awesome, top-notch barbecue competitor, man, that's involved in the high school arena of competition barbecue. And Bo, I didn't even think about it, man. I could have had you on as a guest this evening. I did not even think of it. But we're gonna make that happen at some point, Bo. Would love to hear your story, buddy. Josh says if barbecue was a thing when he was in high school, he would have given up AAU basketball way earlier. My man Grumpus is in the house. What's happening? G says he misses those lighter fluid hamburgers. Folks, here's a good deal for you. If y'all want to see some kids in action, the March 23rd, Mom and I are going to be judging. All right, the Madison High School Ag Department will be hosting a regional cook-off. All right, come see the future of barbecue and taste these kids' homework. Good deal. Yeah, Mom and I are going to be taste judges. Boy, I'm gonna hit you up, man, and we're gonna do this again. I might see if I can't get you on before I have the kids from Madison on. Same episode.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I think that would be a great intro. Danny, that was true, man. Back in the days, before appearance became a separate category, as is the case right now. Ugly chickens used to really kick tail. Ask my man Kelly. What's Kelly's last name? You remember?
Kelly Evers?
No, not Kelly Evers. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember his last name. No, no.
See if you can recall that name. Kelly Evers got a write up in Texas Monthly about his place up in. Did you see that?
Yeah, he opened a new spot. A couple of years ago, Mom and I drove down out to, and I can't even remember the name of the town that has barbecue.
Wimberley.
Yeah, in Wimberley.
Yeah.
And the day that we chose, he wasn't at the truck. But we sat there and we had some good barbecue. And we were supposed to go back and sit with him at the restaurant, but we never did. So I'm gonna try to hit him up again. He still he and I touch bases every once in a while. Tom says he gave up lighter fluid once he was old enough to cook. We appreciate that, Danny. We appreciate that, buddy. If you haven't yet, folks, we appreciate it, man. Hit that thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything. And for those of you lurkers out there, hey, stop in, say hi. This is a safe place for the most part.
Till we get to know you, you're not safe.
Charlie, just want to say thanks for helping the James Madison High School barbecue teams. It was an absolute pleasure. I should thank you guys. Mom and I are looking forward to seeing everybody on the 23rd, man, as we judge some quality barbecue. Tom Fuentes is in the house. What's happening, buddy? I think you should be prepping, getting ready for Refugio. That's this weekend. Buzz says that our house, there would be people of every race, color, religion every other weekend, and was always a great time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what barbecue is all about, man. That is what barbecue is all about. Rig Dog is in the house. What's happening, Rig Dog? What's up, sports fan? I like that, Rig Dog. I like that. Yeah. Am I assuming correctly that y'all grew up in the 80s? Man, in the 80s, I was already grown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to say yes, Rig Dog. Yeah, I would love to say yes.
Yeah, I grew up. I was born in 61, so 60s and 70s for me.
Exactly. 60s and 70s. I'm also 61. Getting ready to be 62.
Yeah.
Brandon BKC, what's happening, buddy? How are you doing, man? Thank you for stopping in this evening. Uncle Steve is in the house. What's going on? Everybody's uncle. Looking forward to see you, man, in a few days, Uncle Steve, at the Houston Rodeo. Buzz, that is something, man, that is really, really, when we talk barbecue, seafood does not get its fair shake.
Yeah.
I mean, crab boils and everything are great, man. But I really love crabs on the grill, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do them on the grill, man. Some butter, a little garlic, a little parsley, boom, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I love it. My man, Bo, thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Buzz says our FFA here, all right, at the kids' school, they do pork butts for fundraiser. Wonder if they need to get into comps.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? If it's out there, I don't know if it's a national thing, if every state has their own version. But I don't see why a couple of heads couldn't get together and make something like that happen.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great avenue, man, to get kids focused on something positive.
Hey, Buzz, I forget, where are you located? I know we talked about that last month, but I don't remember. Sorry. Where you all at?
There you go. Thank you, Tom.
Curtis.
It was Kelly Curtis.
Yeah.
Had an ugly chicken, man, but used to kick butt with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good cook.
Yeah. Oh, great cook. Yeah.
That
Great.
took every class known to man.
and he didn't mind letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely took he was a student of the game.
Yeah. Whatever it takes, if you could do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I came up early enough in it to where, you had a conversation with a more experienced cook and you paid attention during that conversation.
Yes, sir.
And even if another cook didn't mean to, they'd eventually give you a little golden nugget somewhere in that conversation, and you really needed to just pay attention.
Yeah.
And
grab it.
Yeah, and then be a good friend. I never taught a class, but I've had 1,000 conversations with 1,000 cooks out there, and I've always been very willing to share my information. I kept my personal recipes to myself, but techniques and ideas and things like that, man, people were very free to help me. So I always felt like I needed to go the same route. And I think I reached a lot of people that way. And I'm like you, CJ. I really enjoy teaching. It doesn't matter, young people or older people, it doesn't matter. I enjoy sharing knowledge like that. And, I think I enjoyed sharing with cooks that stop by looking for some help or, just a problem solving technique. I always love that, man. Always love that because people were free with information for me.
Oh yeah. And,
Yeah.
during our time, there weren't the numbers of classes there are today. When we started in 2010, I don't remember hearing about a class.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing about a class. And I don't know if I'd have taken one, if it was available. I can't go back and look and say yes or no. But today, man, cut that learning curve, take somebody's class. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. You've still got to put it together. My
You
man
do.
Wade is in the house. What's happening, Mr. Carpenter from Uvalde?
Hello, Wade. How you doing, bud?
Charlie Cruz, what's happening, buddy? Rig Dog, that's the truth, buddy. You're as young as you feel, man. You're as young as you feel. And I'm still a third grader at heart. I'm telling you.
Just hang out.
Mama said you mentioned the dinosaur this morning. Hey, dude, that is the funniest thing I've seen all week. Yeah. It's on my Facebook page, folks.
Oh, God.
It is hilarious if you've got a sense of humor. Yeah. Don't take it seriously. uh, Josh says he may or may not show up this weekend. Supposed to, but work has been an issue. Yes, sir. Gee, those 80s were legit, man. Buzz will be 49 in 20 days. Buzz, I remember when I was 49, man. Bread was 15 cents a loaf. I could go to the movies for a quarter. Where have those days gone? BKC, man. Yeah, missed opportunity on my part. You guys look like you had a great time, buddy. That's what it's all about. Tom says 80s is when he started to think about retirement. Folks, you got to enjoy life, man. Got to enjoy life. Unless you're working for yourself, you can't keep working for the man in your old age.
Yeah.
Take some time. Dr. King says, how's that cannon pit working out? Loving that thing, man. I've got a big project, and I was intending on using the cannon for it, but I think I'm going to go in a different direction because I want to be able to give our fans 360 visibility of this piece of protein I'm going to be cooking. So I'm going to use my WSM, but I really wanted to use the cannon for it. You really wanted to go offset, but I think I'm going to go differently. Dr. King says he's got a Jambo on the way. Very expensive pit, his first. But I will tell you, I think that's not a bad way to do it, as opposed to incrementally stepping up. There are a few of us out there that did that, and in the long run, it costs you more money.
Yeah.
As opposed to just buying outright that big piece, that big ticket item, and not having to creep up every few years because you're feeling better about what you're doing. You're gonna love that Jambo. You're gonna love that Jambo. That thing is the Cadillac of barbecue pits, man. Once you learn it, it's yours, buddy. Yeah.
Very nice pit.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Playing catch up here in the chat, folks. All right, G. Thank you for stopping in, man. Have a good evening. Oscar Garcia, what's happening, buddy? Oscar says his dad planted the barbecue seed and cooked almost every weekend when he was younger. Kept the flame going in college, but really became interested when Franklin got released in the media. Oh, yeah. And outside of his restaurant, I know that's where his accolades, his notoriety comes from. But outside of the restaurant business, he has been good for barbecue in general.
Yeah.
He's really turned a lot of people on to barbecue. He's putting out some pits. He's doing some other things. He's got classes. So he's been, because I'm not a restaurateur, I'm not a competitor, he's been good for barbecue in general. Let's see where we are. Buzz says, actually, the first comp he and his wife did, Wendy, was a FFA-sponsored event, and they got a first place brisket, first pork, and third ribs. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That'll get you hooked on the comp.
Without a doubt. That's almost the trifecta right there, buddy. That's almost the trifecta. Yeah, that is almost the big ticket. Darwin, in all the years you've competed, were you able to do that?
No, never got a triple first. No. I think I got, first, second, and third all together. Yeah, never got 3 first place calls.
I've had we did 2 firsts and a second twice.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Then and I always think of this as just so so different. We did one event where I brought home 3 coolers. Three, they weren't Yetis, but they were in that Yeti style. I can't remember what brand they were. I've given them away since. But I did one event, had 3 third place. And I'd never had anything like that before. Brought home 3 coolers.
Yeah.
But I've mentioned it before. Most impressive trifecta was Don Canterbury. Pasadena, 180 teams, 3 first place.
Yep.
Dr. King, man, we appreciate you. We're here just about every Thursday, at least 3 Thursdays out of the month. I usually take one of them off, but 3 Thursdays out of the month. And we appreciate you stopping in. We love the conversation. We're always here for you. If you've got any questions, somebody in this community will be able to help you out. We know a lot about offset cooking. Take a look at our Facebook page. We do some offset cooking. Our YouTube channel. We do some offset cooking. But we'll be glad to help you with any questions you may have. Thank you again, man. Have a great evening. All right, so folks, we didn't cook. We did not have an episode last weekend, and thanks to Buzz, thanks to Jay, I finally pulled the trigger on that pork belly, that jerk pork belly.
That looked good.
Oh my goodness!
Good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. In one of the comments, I was asked, how was the fat in that pork belly? We all know that pork belly comes with its with the fat, but the way this pork belly was cooked, when you ate it, you did not recognize fat in it. And I always have my own way of doing things. I love the idea behind cubing that the way I did, letting those marinades, those seasonings really get in there for more than 24 hours. And then in the midst of that cook, I thought about it. I say, hey, why not slice this in the strips and then quick grilling it on each side to really render? Oh my goodness. That was absolute perfection. So thank you very much. The next time I do any type of gathering here at the house, or whether it might be a potluck or anything along those lines, I can easily see me doing that as a part of the menu. That looked so good.
Yeah.
But thanks for the inspiration. Josh, I copied, I looked at all of the ingredients in that Walker's Wood. Josh is asking, how is the marinade that I use versus Walker's Wood? I use my homemade marinade, but I copied the ingredients from the Walker's Wood bottle. Now, I don't know the amounts that Walker's Wood use, but I use amounts that I am familiar with, that I enjoy. The one thing that I did not use is they use some sort of citric acid or something along those lines. I don't have any preservatives or chemicals or whatever you want to call them in mine. Instead of citric acid, I thought I'd go with a little bit of lemon juice or something along those lines.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I love it. The next batch I make, I'm going to go with more habaneros. I was gentle the first time, but I think I might even double the amount of habaneros. But it's really good. Yeah. It absolutely was, Buzz. Yeah. All right. Buzz said, all right, CJ, here's another idea. Shoot, Buzz, give it. And then what was this week? What video we do this week that I really enjoyed as well? Oh, wings. Have you ever thought about finishing wings in a cast? You know, smoke your wings, grill your wings, and then finishing in a cast iron pan.
No, never did it. But you know, the funny thing was, I made wings that same night and then watched your video after the fact.
Okay, okay.
So, you know, if I'll grill them until they're done, but you know, lately I've gotten to the point where I do them in the oven really hot. Get my oven around 500 degrees, and yeah, I do them in the oven. I like them baked like that. It's just so easy.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I totally agree. I'm at that point, Darwin, where I'm not bored, but man, I'm just kind of blah about the same old, same old.
Yeah.
You know, I am looking for different ways of doing the old stuff.
Yep.
You know, just to freshen up. Buzz, I love that, man, and we've done it already. I've got an awesome jerk pork rib video out there that have done really well. People enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So pork belly was one of the last major meats that I just never thought about jerking, and I'm glad that I did because I will be doing it again. Yeah,
So
I absolutely will.
you need to look into, CJ, is getting some real mutton and doing it Kentucky style from Owensburg, I think. Is it Owensburg or Owensville? Up in Kentucky.
Owensburg. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about that too. I never see mutton available. And we do lamb chops and leg of lamb several times a year. We love that. But I've never done mutton before. I'm real interested in that.
So mutton is old sheep, right?
Yeah, it's an older animal. So, but I'll let you take care of that experimentation on that.
Yeah. Every time I hear the word mutton, I think of an episode of Sanford and Son, where Sanford is pretending to be hurt, and Lamont brings in this daytime housekeeper, older white lady, and she didn't know she was supposed to cook. And Fred asked her what's for lunch, and she's like, "What do you have?" And the lady asked Fred's, "Do you like boiled mutton?" And Fred's response was, "Does anybody?"
I love that show. That was.
Josh says jerk wings with a sticky Asian sauce. He's got a killer recipe. Josh, I've got a nice video. Jerk chili wings. Jerk sweet chili wings. Something like, I can't remember the title, but kind of a take on what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
So we jerk the wings and then coated with a sticky sweet Asian style chili sauce. Delicious. The play of the sweet with that heat was really, really good. Yeah.
So, you know, you're talking about getting bored with the same old thing for the past couple of years. You can see that wok over my shoulder there behind me. I've been experimenting with Chinese food. And I'll tell you what, man, you want to talk about something totally different.
Yeah.
You feel like a brand.
All Beluga Air, where we value your time and your continued trust.
Somehow my stereo came on. Yeah. It's like, what? Sounded like someone came through my front door.
Yes, sir.
Throughout the process.
That was bizarre.
Keep your family safe and warm. Scan the code or visit our website to find out about our Cooler Month specials. Don't get caught in the code. All Beluga Air.
State and national levels. Dr. Chiquita Collins.
Oh, how funny is that? I have no idea what's causing that.
UT Health San Antonio. How she is seeking.
Oh, I think Lauren.
I've watched several char siu videos, and I've never thought about pulling the trigger, but I guess I need to try one.
What's char siu?
Huh?
What is char siu? I saw him post that. I don't know what that is.
It's hard for me to describe the type of cooking it is. But it's almost like an Asian style barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah.
For generations into next.
Josh said, I saw your recipe, but his levels it up.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie says that's the poltergeist. Yeah, jerk chili wings. There you go. Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we've hit that 1 hour mark. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we want to thank you guys and gals for sitting down and hanging out with us. Please come on back. I will definitely have a promo out for when I can get the Madison High School barbecue team on the show. They've got a lot going on. They're showing animals and some other stuff right now. So when we can settle on a Thursday, a particular Thursday, I will give all of you a heads up, man, so you can really hear from the mouth of these young adults what their experience in San Antonio was like. I can't wait. I'm very excited for that episode. Once again, thank you guys and gals so much for hanging out with us. Want all of you, man, to finish out your week tomorrow and then enjoy your weekend. Be on the lookout for another video on Tuesday. In the meantime, we want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you.
Good night.
Holla.